Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to Lola's farm. We have a beautiful day up here.
It's a perfect day to build a house, I would say. And we're excited to be back after our little trip down to Boston. We're excited to be back, excited to get back to building.
Especially with this next month. This is our grind time, baby.
And we're excited to make this A-frame house actually start to look like an A.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Here's the view of what we have so far. They're not looking like an A,
Not
but you can visualize the A that will be.
It's gonna be a pretty gosh darn big A, let me tell you.
We're getting back on the floor joists today. Gonna try to wrap these things all up. Gonna try to get a floor down real quick. I'm super excited to get back to work.
Just so you guys know, today's video is sponsored by Athletic Greens, and they actually have a really awesome deal going on right now that with your first purchase, you get 10 of these travel packs for free. But we'll tell you guys a little bit more about them later on.
So we gotta get back to work on laying these caballos. These are the floor joists. And these caballos are 2 carriolas and they're welded together. We already have them all welded together here, but now we just need to get them in place.
Right there, 154.
358.5.
Let's do that.
Yeah, your southern accent is very good, bro.
Come on, bro, you gotta work on the southern accent.
One say grits.
What?
Grits.
Grits.
Even a little more twang.
More grits.
Grits.
358.5. We have to make sure that the seam of these 2 caballos is on a stud. So we had to cut 2 of them to length so they sit right on, the seam sits right on a stud because that's going to be the weakest part. And now we need to weld them together. The thing is, we need to make sure this whole piece when we weld it together is super straight. So we use this other caballo here kind of as a guide. So when we weld it, it doesn't. I'm 4 millimeters long. All right, let's leave it then and we can just trim this later. If you guys have been watching us for a little while now, you know we can't just do one project at a time. That's part of the reason why I love having so many people up here, is we can accomplish so many things rather than everyone just standing around waiting for someone to finish their task. We get a couple things moving. So something I love about having Iberto and Enrique up here is they can take on projects that are really important but that we don't have time for. And one of those is moving electrical into the solar kiln. Right now we just have this extension cord. You can see this black wire running all the way. And I had them dig this ditch and we're gonna run an outlet inside the solar kiln. You can hear those fans running, so we can power those fans and do it in a safe way rather than having an extension cord our whole life.
Are you guys hungry?
Este y allí. Y este. Sí, perfecto. Cemento. Y después el cable entrada. Okay, el cable entrada allí. Y allí en el hueco, donde el cable es allí, yo ayudo tú, ¿ok? ¿Entiendes?
Sí. Good.
Alright, these guys got it under control. My Spanish isn't the best, but they seem to understand me, so I'm leaving them to it. They've never done electrical before, but this isn't really like making any of the connections, it's just running the wire, and it's good for them to learn. They've taught me a lot when it comes to cement. They're like the masters at working with doing masonry, so they've taught me a lot. And I teach them a little bit that I know about electrical and all that stuff, which isn't a heck of a lot, but it's a little bit. Remember all that stuff we said about a great day to build a house? I take all that back. It's just about to downpour now. The rain just came in so fast.
I gotta ask. Day 2 of keto. What's the status quo?
Honey, I had chicken tenders yesterday.
No, that was 2 days ago. Yesterday, okay, Day and a half. Day and a half. Day and a half of keto. How you feeling?
Honey, I had a chocolate bar like 5 minutes ago.
Lovey!
We never said we were doing keto. I just said I wanted to eat stuff that comes from the ground.
Well, we're doing flexible keto. We're doing low carb.
So we're eating?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Flexible keto sounds like just eating.
Well, I'm going to share with you guys what we got for lunch today. We have very simple. We got lettuce, turkey burger, cheese, avocado, mayo, ketchup, and a side of edamames with a man with no pants.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go!
That's where you're supposed to wake up, Rodrigo. Welcome to Kaylee's sauna, where it's 99% humidity, and Kaylee needs to take all of her clothes off in order to survive.
The heat really gets to me, you guys.
Especially the humidity.
Especially the humidity.
That's what happens this time of year. Downpours. It's like Florida. It downpours for like an hour or two. We get like 2 inches in that time, 2 inches of rain. And then it's just so muggy.
And just like that, you guys, the fog has rolled in. Look how crazy. And the puppies. We'll be taking them for a walk in a little bit. It's like 3 seasons all in one day. Hi babies, my little lovies.
These guys got real close to having this all done today. The electricity is ran up there with an outlet, and then it comes all the way down. We're working on filling in the trench right now, and it runs in right here, and we just need to connect it up and into the powerhouse. Just didn't have enough time today. I was kind of running back and forth, but still just getting that extension cord, which wasn't even an extension cord, it was just 14 gauge wire, getting that off the ground and stopping people from walking on it was still a really big deal today.
Do you want to go for a WALK with all the puppies?
First thing I do every single morning is check our charge. I know you might not be able to see that, but we're at about 83%. It's pretty good for running a dehumidifier for most of the night.
Honey, you're not making it very easy for me. You're making it a little bit difficult. Come on.
I am pretty proud to tell you guys that Kaylee and I haven't paid a single electric bill in over 4 years.
That's pretty darn awesome.
I used to pay, living in Boston, we had electric heat, and we'd pay somewhere to like $300 to $500 a month.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here they come. Look at Jenny in all her glory.
She does need a bath.
She's a little moldy on the outside, but it's what's on the inside that matters. That's always been the truth about Jenny. If any of you guys are new around here, Kake's been living in that bus for about 3 months now, which is just like so awesome that he loves living in there. Him and Adriana live in there, and we'll build him a house one day, but he's kind of the end of the line because he's got a spot already. He's got a nice comfy spot and he loves it. Every time we come here, the boys are just looking over the fence and just staring at the girls.
They're so ready, man.
I have a really important question.
I remember that.
I have a really important question. For all of you. Am I showing too much skin?
No. That's sexy, I told you, that's style.
Do that, like.
Sumanos, bro.
Yes, please.
Nice. We got Iberto planting some corn today. This is where we're really going to start expanding our garden. We've done a lot of experimenting with planting, and what's been working so far is these raised beds. They work really well, especially with the amount of rain that we get. We have the windy season coming up, and we want to start building the wind barrier naturally. I mean, we could throw plastic up and we could do it that way, but we want to try to do it with plants. And corn grows really well here, and it's a really good wind block. So Iberto's working on a few rows of corn today for a wind block for our future garden.
So as you guys know, we have been drinking Athletic Greens for a little over a year now, and specifically more so recently because I've actually been using it as my prenatal during my pregnancy. When I first found out that I was pregnant, I was doing a lot of research on different supplements to take and prenatals, and a lot of them just seemed very, very overpriced. And at the time, I was drinking Athletic Greens, so out of curiosity, I decided to kind of compare, and the funny thing about it was pretty much identical to my prenatals. The only difference was, instead of the prenatals coming in supplement form, they were coming in the form of whole foods, which is what Athletic Greens is. They have 75 ingredients that range from things such as chlorella, spirulina, papaya, super highly nutritious ingredients that will make you feel so good. And with that being said, because it's actual whole foods, Athletic Greens is much more bioavailable, which basically just means it's a little bit easier to digest and the nutrients are much more easily absorbed into your body. I don't know why, but I feel like this looks so freaking cool with all of these laid out and welded in. We're almost there. We're about, I'd say 3/4 of the way there, maybe a little less. But it's really funny looking at this and comparing it to the foundation of our workshop and just how much stronger this is gonna be.
We're starting to get a little buildup of rust on these metal beams, so it's time to treat it with some paint. So I got this super sexy yellow paint.
Oh, it's yellow! Oh, I think I need to shake that some more even.
And this is a primer. So this is just gonna be the first coat.
I gotta say something though. I'm having a little bit of PTSD from the last time we did this with the workshop, because that was kind of my job. Because I wasn't really an adequate welder at that point yet, so I was in charge of the grinding and the painting. And I do have to say I am not super excited about doing it again.
Let me tell you the good news. This house is about 4 times the size of the workshop, so you have to do it 4 times the amount.
Even better. Patience. Well, the weather is not on our side today. The rain keeps coming and going and coming and going, and we keep trying to work in between, but it's to the point where it's really just not worth it anymore. It seems like we're about to get a really hard downfall any minute, so that's all we can do with the platform today. But we're moving on. We're not gonna stop work just yet, because we got some electrical to do.
I already know that tonight's gonna be a late night. Still a lot of work to do. And every afternoon, as I'm getting ready to push through the 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. work hours, I'm making Athletic Greens. If I have a coffee now, I'll get feisty and I'll be up all night. So this is kind of like my evening energy drink, and it's a little sweet. So if you like soda or if you like juice like me, I have a sweet tooth, and if you're looking for a little replacement that's a little bit healthier, it's actually a lot bit healthier, I can't recommend Athletic Greens enough. And Athletic Greens does have a deal going on right now that you can get 10 of their travel packs. That's 10 of these drinks for free with your first purchase, so you can click our link in the description below to check that out. There's good news and there's bad news. The good news is the solar kiln is all hooked up to the powerhouse, so we have that line run all the way underneath, and I just put in a new fuse and it's all good, it's working good. The bad news is I'm about to rant. This is our powerhouse, this is where all of our electrical components are. And if you look, almost everything in here is Renogy. All these batteries are Renogy. This is their first generation of lithium, 100 amp hours. These are all their second generation. Our inverters are Renogy. All 2.4 kilowatts of solar over there are Renogy. We are sponsored by Renogy. Some of the stuff they've given to us, some of the stuff they've given to us at a discount, and some of the stuff we've had to pay for. We are affiliated with Renogy. We promote their products. Every single description of every single video that you see down below, we list all of our stuff, and they pay us for doing that. Every time someone buys something, we get paid. And I can never associate myself with Renogy again. I've just hit my last straw. I just installed this new 100 amp charge controller a week ago, and it's not even fully hooked up yet because I've just been having so many problems with this thing. It's overheating like crazy, which is why I have this fan here. I've tried moving it around. I've had it down here. I've moved it up here. Now I'm gonna move it back down here because it worked a little bit better down there. And for a charge controller that costs a few $100s, this thing is just terrible. It's awful. The first thing right off the bat is it can't even read our battery properly. You'll see here, it says 13 volts right there above my finger. And it's just always 0.2 volts below. And that's a big deal. The difference between 13.2 volts and 13 volts is like nearly a third of our whole battery bank. It's a lot of power. And how I know it's off, this is our wind turbine charge controller, and you can see here our battery says 13.2 volts. I'll take these two leads and stick them on here for this multimeter. And if you look, what does it say? 13.15. And why that's such a big deal is this thing is in charge of protecting our batteries. All those batteries cost us nearly $6,000. So this piece of equipment is really, really important. And if you think if it's 0.2 volts below, if it's reading 0.2 volts below, that's such an easy way to destroy all your batteries really quickly. I'm ranting about Renogy. Can you hold the camera for me? So maybe I just got a defective charge controller, right? Maybe it's just bad luck. Totally fine. That'd be totally cool with me. The problem that I have is when I called them and I called their customer service line.
I got something to say too.
But yeah, I wasn't even finished. I'm on a roll here.
You continue rolling, then I'll start my roll.
My roll here.
So I talked to this really nice woman from customer service. We went through every single spec and every single detail of our solar system, from the size of the wire, to the distance of the wire, to the connections we use, the terminals, and everything was correct. And everything was perfect because this stuff is so important to us. We're 100% off grid. Our lives are reliant on this electrical system. So the customer service representative I talked to, who was really, really nice, she asked me if my charge controller, how long ago I purchased it. And I was like, I don't know, it was like 2 to 3 months ago. And she said, oh, after 30 days, the return is over. I can't return it anymore. And for me, I just thought that was so ridiculous because not only do we live in Panama, and it took more than a month to get it to us, not only that, but to test out a solar system, to connect it, and to put in the batteries, and to put in the inverter, and get all the cables, and get all the pieces, and get all the stuff, and then to take the time to test it, and calibrate it, and make sure it's all working right. Man, to do that in 30 days, that's crazy, and I just don't think that that's really all that fair.
You really learn how to raise a speed.
Very good. All right, Pope, you ready? Hold. So I've put 2 USB powered fans behind here, and I've plugged it in, and I'm just gonna leave it. This electrical closet has just turned into a mess. I've taken so many things apart. It was looking so beautiful, and I've just taken so many things apart over the last few weeks trying to get this thing to work correctly. I've taken the whole thing apart, put it all back together multiple times. But if any of you guys still think I'm overreacting a little bit, I totally understand. I just want to let you know it's been kind of frustrating working with Renogy. The last thing that happened with us was we ordered all those solar panels, 8 of them. And I'll put a photo up here on when those solar panels arrived to our freight forwarder. They looked like this. For us, when we put our name on something, we want you guys to be able to trust us. With Renogy, we just can't do that anymore. We're not gonna put them in any of our video descriptions anymore. We're not gonna promote them anymore. Sorry for this little rant. I'm gonna end the rant now, but I just had to get this off my chest. Kaylee's feeling some of her first contractions right now.
Well, they're not real contractions. They're like, they happen during pregnancy, especially once you get towards your 3rd trimester. It's called Braxton Hicks. I think that's the name. But it's super common, especially towards the end, which I'm getting to now. I mean, you can kind of tell that I'm really
And she hasn't even had dinner yet.
making progress.
Just wait till after dinner time.
I know. But yeah, I'm just feeling like this intense, like, not super intense, but just like very, very, like tightness in my belly.
Well, just know if you go into labor, I got you. I'll deliver that thing right in the workshop.
So we're just gonna make a little pit stop here in the greenhouse. Wow, look how gorgeous it looks in here, huh?
So it's finally getting green.
I know. It's taken us a long time. But I came in here for this. There's nothing like some fresh picked basil. Because I got a special little something something that I'm gonna whip up tonight.
We got the pesto night. Homemade pesto night. Yeah.
Homemade pasta. This looks so unappetizing, by the way.
What are you talking about?
It's well, the pasta's like black because it's like spirulina edamame pasta.
That's what we're calling this one. Thank you guys so much for coming along. But I'm gonna be stuffing my face full of food now, so I can't talk anymore.
Cheers, honey. We love you guys so much.
Who cheers his pesto basil?
We
Pasta.
do. We do, honey.
See you in the next one.